Hello, welcome to the Self Learning Podcast by Dr. Sushma Singh. Let us start discussion on Chapter 1 Sociology and Society. Our topic is the scope of sociology and its relationship with other social science disciplines. The scope of sociological study is extremely wide. It can focus its analysis of interaction between the individuals, such as that of a shopkeeper with a customer, between teachers and students, between two friends or family members. It can likewise focus on national issues such as unemployment or caste conflict, or the effect of state policies on the forest rights of the tribal population, or rural indebtedness, or examine global social processes such as the impact of new flexible labor regulations on the working class, or that of the electronic media on the young, or the entry of foreign universities on the education system of the country. What defines a discipline of sociology is therefore not just what it studies, that is, family or trade unions or villages, but how it studies a chosen field. Sociology is one of the ground of social sciences, which also includes anthropology, economics, political science, and history. The divisions among the various sociological sciences are not clear cut, and all share a certain range of common interests, concepts, and methods. It is therefore very important to understand that the distinctions of the disciplines are to some extent arbitrary and should not be seen in a straitjacket fashion. To differentiate the social sciences would be to exaggerate the differences and gloss over the similarities. Furthermore, feminist theorists have also shown the greater in need of interdisciplinary approach. For instance, how would a political scientist or economist study gender roles and their implications for the politics or the economy without a sociology of the family or gender or division of labor? Now, let us discuss sociology and economics. Economics is the study of production and distribution of goods and services. The classical economic approach dealt almost exclusively with the interrelation of pure economic variables, the relation of price, demand, and supply, money flows, output and input ratios, and the like. The focus of traditional economics has been on a narrow understanding of economic activity, namely the allocation of scarce goods and services within a society. Economists who are influenced by a political economy approach seek to understand economic activity in a broader framework of ownership of and relationship to means of production. The objective of the dominant trend in the economic analysis was, however, to formulate precise laws of economic behavior. The sociological approach looks at economic behavior in a broader context of social norms, values, practices, and interests. The corporate sector managers are aware of this. The large investment in the advertisement industry is directly linked to the needs to reshape lifestyles and consumption patterns. Trends within economics, such as feminist economics, seek to broaden the focus, drawing in gender as a central organizing principle of society. For instance, they would look at how work in the home is linked to productivity outside. The defined scope of economics has helped in facilitating its development as a highly focused, coherent discipline. Sociologists often envy the economists for the precision of their terminology and the exactness of their measurement, and the ability to translate the results of their theoretical work into practical suggestions having major implications for the public policy. Yet, economists' predictive ability often suffer precisely because of their neglect of individual behavior, cultural norms, and institutional resistance, which sociologists study. A true economic science would look at all the cost of economy, not only at the cost at corporations are concerned with, but also at crimes, suicides, and so on. We need to put forward an economics of happiness which would take note of all the profits, individual and collective, material and symbolic, associated with the activity, and also the material and symbolic cost associated with inactivity or precarious employment. Sociology, unlike economics, usually does not provide technical solutions, but it encourages a questioning and critical perspective. This helps questioning of basic assumptions and thereby facilitates a discussion of not just the technical means towards a given goal, but also about the social desirability of a goal itself. Recent trends have seen a resurgence of economic sociology, perhaps because of both this wider and critical perspective of sociology. Sociology provides clearer or more adequate understanding of a social situation than existed before. This can be either on the level of factual knowledge or through gaining an improved grasp of why something is happening. In other words, by means of theoretical understanding. Now, let us wind up the session and thank you very much for engaging yourself with the Self Learning Podcast.